Rocky Driving School.
Welcome to Rocky Driving School again. Today I'm going to take you through theory, particularly on road signs. Road signs. You know, when you're driving on the road, you'll come across so many traffic signs and you have to understand what they're saying. You have to understand what they mean for you to be safe. So in driving, we have road signs. These are the road signs we are talking about, and a good qualified driver should understand what they mean, and you should act accordingly. So we have these road signs. Road signs are divided into three major groups. We have group, let's name them by letters A. Let's start with group A. These signs here, they are group A signs. Group A signs, we call them regulatory signs. Regulatory signs, we describe them as red in color, circular in shape. Red in color, circular in shape. We describe this group as red in color because majority of the signs are red. Because I understand they are blue signs, but we go by majority. They are red in color, circular in shape. These regulatory signs, or regulatory as a group, group A, it is further divided into three subgroups. This group A, it is further divided into three subgroups. Subgroup number one, it is this sign and this sign here. These two signs, they are found under subgroup number one. We call it priority. We call these signs priority signs. Priority signs are the biggest signs in Kenya, remember. They are more powerful than these other signs. These priority signs. There are only two. They are red in color but different in shape. Stroke is octagon in shape, and giveaway sign is triangular in shape with the apex facing downwards. So that is subgroup number one. Subgroup number two, these are the signs here, these blue signs here. We call them compulsory signs. Compulsory signs are blue in color, circular in shape. We describe them as blue in color, circular in shape. We also have these signs here. From this point to this point, we call them regulatory signs. Regulatory signs are red in color, circular in shape. The main function of these signs on the road, the main function of this group of signs on the road, it is to give order. These regulatory signs gives order. So it's very important when you come across, it's very important to know that when you come across these signs, they gives you an order. So you have to obey those signs. Those are the signs in group A. Group B. We also have signs in group B. From this point to that point, we call them warning signs. You can call them warning signs, hazard signs, or cautionary signs. We describe these signs as red in color, triangular in shape, with apex facing upwards. We describe them as red in color, triangular in shape, with apex facing upwards. This group B have no subgroups. It is not divided into subgroups. And the main function of these signs on the road, it is to warn all traffic of any danger ahead. Remember, these signs are very important. Don't assume when you come across this sign, because it gives a warning. It gives you a warning of any hazard ahead. The main function, remember, it is to warn all traffic. And when I say all traffic, I mean even a pedestrian, even a cyclist, even the person who is driving, a driver. So it gives a warning of any hazard ahead. Like 100 meters from the sign, you will come across that hazard. So you have to observe these signs very carefully. They are warning signs. Another group of signs we have on this board, it is this one here. From this point to this point, we call them informatory signs. Informatory signs, it's a group known as informatory. So you have to observe these signs here. Make sure you observe them. Informatory signs. These signs of this group, it is also further divided. It is also divided into three. It is further divided into three subgroups. Subgroup number one, it is these signs here. We call them advanced directional signs. The main function of these signs here, it is to give you the correct direction when you approach a junction. You're given the correct direction. Maybe you've not gone, you've not even used that road, but when you reach that junction, it will give you a direction. For example, this road here, when you approach this junction from this side, you will know that if I turn to my left, I'm going to Mentaita. If I turn to my right, I'm going to Lekolo. And then if I go straight, I'm going to Nakuru. So you are given the correct direction. That's the main function of advanced directional signs. We also have this route confirmatory signs. The second subgroup, it is route confirmatory signs. It also shows you, gives you the correct direction, but to a specific road. You will find this sign at the junction, but it gives you a direction to a specific road, not the whole junction or not a junction as a whole, but a direction to a specific road. This is like this one. This road is heading to airport. If there's another road there, you may not know where it's heading to. But because you've given a direction to this road, you'll know where it's going to. Then subgroup number three, it is from this side, from this point to that side. We'll call it in facility signs. Facility signs. The main function of this group as a whole now, the main function of group C as a whole, it is to give information of any facility that may be found at that particular place. Thank you. Also, I want to explain. I want to show you some signs that looks alike. You may be confused when you see this and that. You may not know what it means. So it's very important to know these signs. Let's start with this hazard sign. It looks like this lifesaver. What's the difference? Those are two different signs, two different meanings. If you ask what's the difference between a hazard sign and a lifesaver, you will say hazard sign number one is found under warning signs, remember. Lifesaver, it is found under informatory signs. That's point number one. Number two, hazard sign, it's permanently planted beside the road. Planted beside the road. And then lifesaver, it's a special portable sign that is placed 70 meters ahead or behind the vehicle when involved in an accident. This lifesaver, it is portable, but this one, it is permanently planted beside the road. And this is a warning sign, remember? And this is an informative, it gives you information that there's a breakdown somewhere. So this is an informatory sign. Number two, we also have this pedestrian crossing. And we also have this pedestrian crossing over here. What's the difference? The difference between the two is that this one gives you a warning of pedestrians crossing the road ahead. Remember, when you see a warning sign, it is something, a hazard that you find it ahead of you, like 100 meters from where the sign is. So this is a pedestrian crossing ahead, but this is pedestrian crossing on the spot. This sign here, you find it on the spot, just there. We also have this sign that may confuse you. Where is it? The signs that have no any indication, like a pedestrian, like a car. You know, it's very, very simple to know what these signs means because there's somebody on a bicycle. But now, if you ask what does this mean, you may not understand. So these signs with no information inside, like this one here, it's a giveaway sign. Giveaway sign. You have to give way to those vehicles approaching from right side. This means road closed. Road is closed. The road is closed. Maybe there's a road, but now it's closed for a purpose. The road is closed. And then this one means end of all prohibitions. Because it has nothing inside, you may not understand what it means. So this is end of all prohibitions. And then it's also to know this one. This is end no through road. You see, there's difference between no through road and no empty. No empty, maybe there's a road, there's a gate, but now, for a period of time, they have closed the road. That's why you're being told no empty. But this one, even if you want to go, you will not go because there's no through road. Road's an end, it's now to an end. This is no through road. And another ones like this, reflectors here, these are reflective plates. This one shows the ignorance of change, they show to the left. The ignorance change of the show to the right. This is exit from the main road, and this is hazard demarcation. But if you want to read all about these signs, then you can buy a textbook from your nearest office. Then you understand the signs very well. Thank you.
For inquiries, email info@rockyschool.co.ke. Rocky, Rocky, Rocky.